Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Focus with Tim Thomas. I'm your host, and we're glad you've joined us. We are coming to you from the beautiful setting, as you can see the backdrop behind us, here at the Mar Park, here in the city of Madisonville. And this is a beautiful afternoon to be coming out and talking about one of the biggest events that has hit Madisonville in some time, and that is the solar eclipse that is going to be taking place on August the 21st. And we are part of a larger group of communities that will be anticipating a large crowd to witness this event that just comes around ever so often in one's lifetime. And joining us for this very special edition of our program is none other than the Honorable Mayor of the City of Madisonville, Mayor David Jackson. Mayor, welcome.
It's good to be here. We're really excited about this. You know, as you said, it's a kind of an unprecedented event for the community. We believe it's going to really give us an opportunity to showcase Madisonville to all the guests who come in, or even those who are coming through, and just show them all the great things that Madisonville has to offer, and then together witness this amazing celestial event.
And joining us, as you said, the rose between two thorns, basically.
I did say that.
Did you? Wow, thank you.
Is the coordinator, CEO, I would say, of the whole Solar Madness event, Jenny Thomas Gibson. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, this is a busy time. Exciting, as Mayor was saying, exciting time and a busy time.
Yes, this is a very busy time. It's busy for everyone. At the city, for local businesses, it's crunch time now.
Yeah.
So it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Jimmy's been working on this since earlier in the year, quite a bit earlier, and I think has done a phenomenal job of just coordinating this whole weekend.
Yes, sir.
Bringing together all the aspects, not just one part of town, but all the aspects of town, so that we really showcase Madisonville as a whole.
But Mayor, I don't think you could have picked a better person to head this up, basically because of a lot of things, and we're going to hit this right quick, that's taking place in downtown Madisonville. A lot of it is because of Jenny and other committee members, but we've been seeing a turnaround in the downtown.
Oh yeah. We're really proud of our downtown and all the great things that's going on down there.
And it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. We're excited about that.
Skate park seems to be extremely well embraced by the community. Everybody seems to be enjoying it, having a good time. I haven't been by there since we opened it officially, and a little bit before we actually opened it officially, when there hasn't been people on it. You know, and then we just came by Festus Claiborne Park a few moments ago, and I was looking at the spray park there, and it was loaded up with kids, and you know, that's exactly what we want to see. That's
it gives you a good feeling, doesn't it?
It feels good to see our community really starting to come out and get involved and with all of these festivals and concerts and things that we're offering, you know, just to see people have more to do as a community.
Right. And there'll certainly be plenty to do between August the 18th, 19th, 20th, yeah, and to the 21st. Tell us a little bit, Jenny, what's going to be taking place and what's happening?
Well, what we've done, just from a philosophical standpoint, so you understand why we've arranged the events as we have, we figured there's going to be a lot of people, probably at least 20,000 people that are just friends and family of residents. And you do a poll of your neighbors, those that think that sounds crazy, see how many people have an adult child or grandchildren, or my sister, my aunt that are coming to visit, and they have friends. So pretty easily, if you do that simple math, we can double our population over that weekend. And those people will likely be here beginning Friday through Monday. So we have lots of opportunities to impress those people and try to encourage them to come back on a less busy weekend. So what we've tried to do is not just have a single event in one place. We've tried to move our events around such that we could highlight the things that we feel we have, they're our best selling points in Madisonville, or amongst our best selling points. And so there's all sorts of things going on that highlight, of course, Mar Park, the Madisonville City Park, our new skate park, our downtown, and even the Madisonville Community College has offerings going on. So by doing that, we're hoping that we can get people out to experience all different aspects of our community. But the festivities begin with Friday Night Live. which we're used to. We have that,
Yes.
monthly, pretty much. But this time it's going to be headlined by the Conch Republic, which they do a Jimmy Buffett kind of fun beach thing. And they're always a lot of fun and bring a lot of people out. And kind of the theme, even if you look, at our T-shirts,
Right.
It's a fun,
Right.
it's a fun celebration of the sun and our community. And so we think the Conch Republic is the perfect band to really set that tone.
Right, right.
And then
And kind of explain who that is on the front of that. We don't want people to think that's the mayor's grandfather. But who is
no, this is James Madison, and
the namesake of our
Yes.
city of Madisonville?
And this actually, absent the eclipse glasses,
Yeah.
comes off the actual city logo. the
Right, which is
shield.
a new logo.
Yes.
Yes.
And so what we did, after going through a couple of versions of it, we really liked this somewhat tongue-in-cheek view of James Madison. And actually we found these are antique eclipse glasses from the early 1900s, so not quite his time. But we popped
How
those
neat
on
is that?
there, and so everybody that sees the logo just loves it, and
Yeah.
they smile about it. So
Yeah.
we have that, and then on the back of the T-shirts we have a list of all the events and
Oh, yeah,
the sponsors that we get. So it is definitely a commemorative T-shirt like you would purchase at a concert. You would want to keep it, So it has everything that we need on it. But so that's what that is all
Gotcha.
about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the weekend starts on Friday, then you go into Saturday.
Going to Saturday, and it's going to be jam-packed with things to do. We start out Saturday morning, starting at 10 a.m. We have the Total Eclipse of the Park event.
Wow.
And we have hired a team of professional skateboarders out of Santa Cruz, California. These are real deal professionals. They represent NHS, which is the oldest and I think largest skateboard manufacturer and distributor in the United States and perhaps the world. They have all sorts of brands that they represent and that they own. So anyone that knows skateboarding, they're going to know these guys, they're going to know these products, they're going to know this company. So they are coming in, I believe they're bringing 7 or 8 pro skateboarders. And so they're going to come in and really break in our park. And it's going to be, as I understand, kind of an informal thing where they are going to be able to skate with local kids and teach them, some cool tricks.
We'll even let you get out there and skate, Tim.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll try that.
yeah.
I'll try.
So that really, I think, that's something very different. And from what I've been told, even when we were talking to a radio or a TV station in Evansville, they were commenting that they haven't heard of such an event in this region in probably at least 25 years.
Really?
So of this caliber.
Yeah.
So I think we can expect a lot of skateboarders, enthusiasts, and others to come from the Evansville, Henderson, Owensboro areas just to see this one event.
Yeah.
And then our Fun in the Sun continues with our Solar Palooza event out at Madisonville City Park. It is definitely a kid-centered event. I looked around to see what other communities had planned, and there really didn't seem to be a real kids event. So hopefully a lot of kids will say, hey Mom, I want to hop over from Hopkinsville and go to Madisonville. And of course they have to bring them and eat lunch and do all
Of
those
course.
things.
Right.
So it's just going to be a get wet and get dirty kind of day. It starts at 11 o'clock, ends at 4. We have, I believe, 14 big inflatables, most of which have some water element, whether it sprays water, you slide through it.
Oh,
We
my
have
goodness.
a giant foam pit.
Yeah.
A huge human foosball arena. That'll be fun for us, you know. And we even have a outdoor laser tag company that's coming with bunkers, and we're going to fight amongst the trees, and that could be a lot of fun for everybody.
Wow.
And there'll be food vendors, and so hopefully we'll have a beautiful day and just, like I said, go out and have some fun and get dirty.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayor, this takes time. All this planning and takes time to come up with. So
Yeah, Jenny's done a great job putting it all together, and just looking forward to the, like I said, going from area to area in the city all weekend long. There's going to be something going on. It's pretty exciting for our community.
Oh, yeah. And pointing out another one of this community's assets is our fairgrounds and convention, the Ballet Convention Center. And that evening, the gates will open at 5 p.m. on Saturday. That will be the Sounds of Independence concert, headlined by Jennifer Nettles and Rodney Atkins.
That's going to be a big event.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
A lot of people.
I've heard they anticipate upwards of 10,000 people at that event. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
People that are Sugar Land fans and Jennifer Nettles fans, and you need to take this opportunity. It's a free concert. And that's quite a gift that Independence Bank has given to our community.
It really is. It says a lot to Independence Bank.
Absolutely.
Mayor, how is the city preparing for the influx of between 20 and, let's say, 50,000 people?
Right. Well, we've been having meetings with all our department heads, and particularly, with regard to first responders, just to make sure that we have all the things in place that's going to make this the safest, most enjoyable weekend possible. Again, not knowing exactly how many people to plan for. We really kind of have to plan for the largest number, and then if it's less than that, then that's fine too. But we are also working with some churches, I think, that are providing cooling stations and things like that for folks, because although we've enjoyed some really nice August weather so far, we can't count on that to continue, through the 21st. And so we're working with that. But again, it's been kind of all hands on deck now for a few weeks, and that will continue as we continue to approach the eclipse weekend.
Gotcha. When we talk about the logistics and that type of thing, emergency management, what are we looking at with that?
A lot.
Well, I think, again, all of the city departments will be operating that day. During the hours of the eclipse, we'll actually shut down most of City Hall. If somebody wants to pay their utility bill, the drive-thru will be open. They can do that, but the rest of City Hall will actually be closed simply because our officers, we anticipate, will be out and about in other areas, and so again, we don't want to have any issues in that area. But again, fire is also very much on alert during that period of time. We will have all of our other departments almost on a stand down and stand by, so that if there is an issue that we need to deal with in mass, that we can call Public Works and sanitation and the water distribution, and get everybody in one spot that we need. So again, we're trying to just be as ready as possible for whatever may happen during that week, during that weekend, and be ready to respond.
Right. Mayor, a lot of responsibility falls on you and in your office. I guess since in my lifetime, this is probably one of the biggest events that probably has faced a mayor in the city of Madisonville.
It really is, and that was why I reached out to Jenny early on about this. She was very enthusiastic about the whole opportunity early on, and already coming up with some great ideas. And I said, well, Jenny, let's kind of take this up a notch. Why don't you just be the coordinator for this? And let's, we'll bring all the city assets together that we need to. We're very appreciative of some funding that was approved by City Council to make this weekend happen. They approved $75,000 about a year ago now that we've had, to use for these events and things like that. And so, again, it's an unprecedented opportunity for us to showcase Madisonville. And I think Jenny's done a phenomenal job putting this weekend together, and she has more. We still have Sunday and Monday to talk about. She's only going through Saturday.
And I'm tired already.
You better, what is it, drink your Geritol that week, so you can keep going through all of this. So.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell us what's up on Sunday.
Okay, Sunday is going to be something different, and we're really excited about it. Everyone can sleep in on Sunday morning.
August the 20th, right?
Yeah, everybody will need it after the Nettles concert on Sunday. But we are having what we hope will be our first Mad Mix of Music Fest.
Okay.
It's an outdoor music festival. That will run from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. Out here at Mark Park. Beautiful setting down right back behind us here. And we're going to have, I believe, there's 6 bands.
6?
Yes. We have a couple praise bands, including the mayor and his band is going to play. And then we have some really great acts that we go from hardcore country to loud, obnoxious blues. And so we've got everything, you know, in your face, everything in between there. And we really wanted to do that, to create, so we didn't pigeonhole one group. You know, you come and you're going to hear some music that you really enjoy. And it's going to be a, you know, bring a blanket or some lawn chairs and sit outside and wear a big brim hat. And we'll have food vendors, and it'll just be a really great day. And
so you're really expecting thousands of people to flood this area.
Yes, yeah, we're expecting probably at least 3,000 people to that event. And luckily, this park is huge, and we can certainly accommodate that parking wise. And so there's a lot of logistics that goes on with that, not only just the sound and the stage and all that, but just the parking and things. And porta potties. We have 80 porta potties.
Major stuff.
I tell you, that's hard when you start to sit down and allocate where you're going to put 80 porta potties. You know, but I think we've done it. And also at Mar Park on that day and throughout the weekend, beginning on Saturday, we have hired a company called Canoe Kentucky. They are the largest canoe and kayak outfitter in the state. They operate on the Kentucky River normally in Frankfort. Very reputable company.
Passion of yours, man.
That's right. I love that. I come out here to Mar Park and kayak about every Saturday morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my oldest brother, he just texted me this afternoon because we came last Saturday morning and the mist was rising off of the lake about this high, and so you were just paddling through that. It was gorgeous.
Wow.
And he texted me just a little bit ago. He said, "Can we go at 6:30 again this Saturday?" And I said, "Yeah, we'll meet over here Saturday morning." So.
You know, there's a lot of people in this community that, especially with this launch, which is awesome, that would have a real interest in kayaking, myself included. My family, my kids, and my husband and I, we came out and saw some people kayaking. Let's go buy a kayak, and then we slowed back and said, "Okay, now let's just try to borrow one first." But this is an opportunity for those people that are just residents to come out and rent a kayak and see if they like it or not, or see if they love it, and so that might really spawn, you know, some more sport and healthy activity.
That would be a pretty unique opportunity to actually, and they're actually going to have the kayaks available during the eclipse event itself, right?
Yeah, they will have a special hour that will be set aside.
You could actually be out on the lake during the eclipse, and that would, you know, pretty unique viewing opportunity there.
So that will, the Music Fest will go on until 8 p.m. or thereabouts, you know how music festivals go, but we'll try to get most everybody out before it gets really dark. And so that's Sunday night. And by the time we get that over, I think I'm going to take a big, deep breath and say, okay, one more day. And then Monday, of course, is the eclipse. And we have chosen to not be too structured about our eclipse viewing areas for various reasons. For example, in Hopkinsville, they kind of have gridded off big pieces of property. And we have such beautiful rolling property, much of which really can't be accessed by car. So what we've decided to do is the city actually is sponsoring 2 official viewing locations, Mar Park being one of them, and City Park being the other. And we'll have designated parking areas, assistance with getting them parking, and some help for those that need help with a golf cart or whatever, moving around in the venue. But each location will have food vendors, porta potties. We'll have EMS will be there. We will have one thing that people might not think about, but with the heat, we have been concerned about the potential of running out of ice. and in making sure that our residents and our guests stay hydrated and they don't have any heat-related problems. On a day like today, it'd be awesome. Let's all pray for a day like today, just like today.
Yes, all weekend.
Yes, all weekend. But if it's a day like it was 2 weeks ago, and the residents couldn't hardly breathe, our visitors that are not used to that climate will have problems.
Yes.
And so we have rented a freezer truck, and we purchased 2 pallets of water. That's 3,600 bottles of water. And we have lined up ice. We're going to fill the rest of the truck with 300 bags of ice. So we can, once, if we get to a point where our vendors start to run out of ice, we can help them and have ice on site. So that truck will be moving a few volunteers, and that will be going from location to location. And potentially, we could even help some local business if they start to run out of ice, if they need help. And because all of our businesses, especially those in the hospitality business, are really going to be stretched.
What would you suggest? I asked you first, then I'll go to Mayor. What would you suggest for our listening audience, especially people within the city of Madisonville, Hopkins County? What would you suggest as far as preparing, knowing with such an influx of people coming in, preparing early as far as getting gas and going grocery shopping? What would be your, or did I just say it?
True. The state's already sent out some guidelines where they recommend that folks would go in and fill up their gas tank the week prior to the event. That they would go in and have some staples at their house. Kind of like how we plan when we have a snow event.
Sure.
All the bread and the milk goes out of the store first.
Don't forget the eggs.
And eggs, and I don't know what we're going to have. We're going to have biscuits and gravy, I guess. But that's right. Yeah. But that folks would just kind of plan for it like that, so that if we do have this large influx and grocery stores are kind of inundated and the restaurants are inundated, that you are able to stay home and have a nice, comfortable weekend if that's what you choose to do. I'm going to be out in the thick of all of it and in the stir and just seeing what's going on and see what Madisonville would look like with an extra 20,000 people in it.
Right.
Because that's where I want us to get one day as a community. I think, be sure that they've taken care of their medical needs. If they're on prescription medications, go in and have those available. Again, if the roads are kind of jammed, you may not want to get out and face the traffic. We're going to have a lot of hands on deck, to keep the traffic flowing, not only at the local level, but also with the county sheriff's department and then the state police. And so they're all have a very coordinated effort with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. And so I think that's the best thing for people to realize is that there is a coordinated response from government at all levels to make this a great event for everybody. And not only providing wonderful community events like Jenny's overseeing for us, but also making sure that all the emergency management services are available. Obviously 911 calls, even though with that many people coming in, cellular service could be spotty.
Yes.
It could be jammed. But still, 911 calls, the way that the telephone company has it, 911 calls get priority.
Sure.
And so they prioritize that over every other call. So those types of calls would still be able to go through, even though you may not be able to, FaceTime with your friend. You could still get a 911 call through. And so that's very important to us.
And what really puts us in a unique position with the eclipse itself, as we were talking earlier before the program, is traveling across the country. Toality is right near Hopkinsville.
Right.
We're right in that area for the totality of it. So that means more influx of people are going to be heading this way.
Right.
So give us kind of a rundown of when the eclipse will take place and how long it's going to last.
Do you want me to take that one, or are you going to get it?
I'll just say one thing. As Jenny said, we have 2 official viewing sites.
Yes.
At Mar Park and at City Park, and we'll have facilities there as far as restroom facilities and folks helping with the parking and things like that if they want to kind of do it as a community event. Obviously, anyone that has a clear view of the sky will be able to take advantage of it too. They don't necessarily even have to leave their home for that. But again, we have the 2 official viewing sites. I know there's other churches and other folks that have made areas available for folks to come and view that too. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jenny and let her tell you a little bit about Monday.
But on that point, we do have, and I would encourage everyone to take a look at our website. It's solarmadness2017.com.
Putting
Like the name of the
putting
festival.
that on the screen.
And actually, I have just completed loading new information that I had about the various other viewing locations throughout town. Madisonville Public Library, for example, is in one. Madisonville Community College, Covenant Community Church. So there's quite a few in the area, and they each have their own kind of different spin, and they will appeal to a different group of people. As well as there's information if you if you have someone you know that wants to come in and do some camping or RVing, we have information in there, as well as some information regarding homes or extra rooms that are available for rent for the weekend. So we've tried to make that a really good resource about the whole thing, not just the events. The eclipse process, it's a process.
Yes.
And when you hear scientists talk about it, they call there's 4 points of contact. C1 being when the eclipse begins, the partial eclipse begins, and that is when the moon very first appears to touch the sun. Of course, it's hundreds of thousands of miles away, but how that happens I think some people would say it's purposeful, some would say it's a quirk of geometry, but the moon is, when there's a total eclipse, the sun is approximately 400 times larger than the moon. However, the sun is also approximately 400 times further away from Earth than the moon. So what that does is the geometry makes it from Earth appear that the moon is exactly the same size as the sun, and that's what causes a total eclipse. And why Hopkinsville has received so much hype, besides just doing a great job as a community and marketing their community, which they have, NASA has designated along the entire 2,700-mile path of totality that runs from Oregon to South Carolina 2 points. In Madisonville, it's right in between both of them. One is the point of greatest duration. That's outside of Carbondale, Illinois. Despite popular belief, Hopkinsville does not have the longest period of totality.
I know that.
1/10 of a second longer in Carbondale. Yeah. And then in Hopkinsville, it's actually out right outside of Hopkinsville in Cerulean. It is the point of greatest eclipse. And what that means is that it's at that point that the moon will appear the largest. Now, to you and I, if we were reporting to each other what we saw in Hopkinsville and Madisonville, you wouldn't see a difference. But that's why there's a lot of NASA scientists with very expensive equipment that will be in Hopkinsville, because it will give them an opportunity to see things that they might not be able to see at some other point on the path.
And what is the timing?
So approximately 11:57 would be the first point of contact. And then the second point of contact is when the other side of the moon covers, so then you have totality. And for us, that's going to be approximately 1:24 in some seconds in the afternoon.
So it'll be getting basically getting dusk.
Yes, it will.
Starting
It will
about
continue to get darker and darker. So say around noon, and for a while you won't notice it at all. And it will take. It probably won't be until at least 1 o'clock where you really will start to appreciate that something looks a little different. And it'll probably just look like a cloudy day. And so then by 1:24, we'll have total darkness. And it's at that point that you can take these off.
Yes.
These are solar eclipse glasses. I just want to say to everyone that I've had a lot come into my shop and say, I have a pair of really great dark sunglasses. I'll be fine. No, you won't. You will burn your eyes. These are specially formulated lenses. It's the same basic material that's in number 14 welding glass. It's the same thing as welder's glass. And I can put these on and I see nothing. But if I were to look at the sun, I can stare at the sun right now. And it's really pretty neat just to wear them today.
Look at them,
yeah, it's really cool.
Because it looks kind of like the moon. When you look at it right now, it just looks like you're looking at the moon to some extent.
But the danger is, as it, if you were to go stare at the sun right now, very quickly your body would stop you. Your eyes would start to water, and you involuntarily your eyes will start to close. Your eyelids will close. But as the real danger as you get closer and closer to the total phase is that it will be much easier for you to force your eyes to stay open and without protection, and then that's when you can burn your retina. There is a medical term for it, but it can not only might you see the partial eclipse in your eyes for the rest of your life. You've looked at a flash bulb, flash bulb in the eyes, and it seems to stay. Can you imagine having the eclipse in your eyes the rest of your life? That's not the way I want to remember it. Or it could be bad enough where you could have permanent blindness. So it's a very, very serious thing.
Yeah.
So you must have glasses, and you must ensure that they have, they'll all say on the backs of them, those that are certified, they'll say ISO, and I can even give you this information, or you can put it up through the program. This is ISO and has a bunch of numbers. This is an international standard for safety for these type of glasses. And then there is it says CE certified, and that is basically a testing agency that ensures that the product manufactured by this company is safe, and meets international standards. There have been, I've seen a lot on social media and on the mainstream media recently. There's been a lot of counterfeits coming out, primarily of China, and they do not meet these certifications, and it's a crapshoot. So it's worth.
We're going to put those on the
the
screen so people can read those.
That is crucial. That is crucial. The city still has some. The county has some, as well as some other local businesses have some for sale. And
what are they running a piece?
Anywhere from $1 to $2 for the cardboard ones. You can order some that are plastic and really cool and look like sunglasses, but it's definitely a different filter in them. But so it's a pretty inexpensive thing, and even for example, the public library is having a viewing, and attendees there get a free pair of glasses.
Sure.
So
I believe the school system is actually sending them home with the kids, right?
Every child and employee of the Hopkins County school system will receive a pair of glasses, and some education and training on how to use them. And I think that's the main thing for our kids. We don't want them to be injured.
Right.
So the eclipse, the totality portion for us will last a minute and 45 seconds or so, 47, 48 seconds. And it's during that point you can take these off. In fact, you'll have to, because you won't be able to see anything. There will be no more fire to cover. And so you take those off, and you can view what's called the corona around the sun, which we never can see because the sun's too bright. And it's basically gases that are coming off, kind of ghostly gases. And then it'll be over, and then it's C3, which is,
until another 99,000,
and another hour and a half, and it'll be over. But hopefully we'll all be left with an incredible memory. And I know for myself and a lot of families that I know, we can't wait to experience it with our friends and our families, my children.
Yeah, and really when you think about it, Mayor and Jenny, it's kind of a chilling thing to think about. And being an ordained pastor as yourself, a lot of people see this as a spiritual type event.
Sure, I think anytime you look out in the sky at night and see all of the stars up there, and you realize how small we are in comparison to the size of this universe. And David said, when we look at the stars of multitude, what is man that you're mindful of him? And so I think it will be. I think it will have some really moving connotations to all of us to just see kind of the precision of this great universe in which we live. So it's going to be an amazing experience.
Yeah, and really, when you think about it, we are such an insignificant part of of the universe, you know.
We think we're not, but we
Yeah.
really
That's
are.
right.
And
Yeah.
that's- Eclipse chasers say that is the most profound part of viewing an eclipse. In short, it puts you in your place. It really forces you as a human being to realize that you truly are just a speck on a bigger speck,
Yeah.
and amongst other specks.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
to be able to really witness it that close in action. I'm really looking forward to that experience.
And I've always thought that we're not alone,
Right.
in this universe,
But so after the eclipse, and the thing that's going to be, I guess, most challenging, because people will kind of come and go during the weekend leading up to it. But then the time immediately following the eclipse is when we really anticipate the roads to really be jammed. And so that's when it's going to be really challenging for folks. And so I think it was very prudent of the school system to dismiss school that day, because that would be about the same time that the school buses would be out. We're not going to run sanitation trucks during the day. We're going to make sure that if anybody needs that done, we're doing that overnight, the night before, so we don't add to the load out there on the highways. But again, that's when things are going to get really, really busy on the roads, is immediately following the eclipse. And again, the state police and the sheriff's department and the Madisonville City Police are all working together to try to make it, again, as such a smooth of a process as we possibly can.
Yes, because there's going to be a lot of maneuvering taking place during that time.
That's right. They're going to also, one thing, they want to remind everybody that it's illegal to park on I-69, that you can't stop on I-69 during this period of time. So if anybody was thinking about just driving down into the area and stopping on the roadway, that they'll be stopped from doing it, potentially fined for doing that. So again, we recommend come to one of our official viewing sites, go to a friend's house, or somebody that you know, or some of these other viewing sites, and take advantage of it there.
So we've got the whole weekend planned out, a lot of events taking place. Now everything is pretty well set. Anything else that we're planning now? Have you pretty well got everything done?
She's working on the weather. She's trying to make sure that we have absolutely perfect weather for that.
I actually tried just
We're gonna leave it to you.
postpone it for a couple weeks. God said no. Deal with it. Well, now we're just working on these minute details. The actual events and the ideas and the logo and all that kind of came together relatively quickly. But then when you start drilling down into now, I'm completing the contracts for the musicians, and we're creating a minute-by-minute, basically, schedule of every event. Who do we need? Where do they need to be? What are they supposed to be doing? We're signing up volunteers. If there's anyone that would like to volunteer, we need help in the venues, just keeping things clean. We need good ambassadors for our community to ensure that our visitors are directed as to, if they want to go somewhere in town, we can tell them where to go. We need help inside the venues, just with assistance in parking and transportation of people that need help. So there's lots of things that our local residents can do. You don't have to do it all weekend, like we're going to. Just take some time and help out. And I think it's fun. You get one of these.
Yes.
And
so more volunteers are needed.
Yeah, we can definitely use volunteers. One of the challenges with this event, unlike most that we stage, is that this is in the context of a huge natural event. And so the persons that we usually rely on for assistance in larger events are not available. And so that has really been an unanticipated challenge. And I should have anticipated, it was logical, but they, the police and fire and amateur radio operators and citizens police unit, they're all scheduled for different parts of town and from a safety standpoint. And they will be handling, traffic control outside of the event. What we need to do is find volunteers who can just help it make it so,
And they're working to call City Hall 270-824-2100. Or do you want to give them your
Or
number?
probably the best thing to do is just go to the website or the Facebook page. The Facebook page is the same. Send us a message, or there's a contact form, and in that way, if I have an email address, that kind of makes it easier, to add it to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Gwen is going to put all that on the screen for us so that people can reach out, get more information on Solar Madness 2017 here in the best town on earth, the city of Madisonville. And so we encourage you to take advantage of that. It's very important that you do learn more about it. City Hall, of course, is always available to take phone calls. Number is 270-824-2100. Call that and they'll be glad to help you.
Right.
City Hall will be opened during the day of the eclipse and will close at noon and reopen at 2, correct?
That's correct.
So keep that in mind. So anything that you might need from City Hall, information, calling, do that before the 12 noon.
Well, but if they want to make a payment on a utility, they can go through a drive-through during the time. The drive-through will remain open. So.
It'll be open all day. The drive-through will be open all day. So a lot going on. Businesses I would take in downtown will close for so many hours. Do you know any idea?
We really encourage them to stay open if they can,
right.
and take advantage of the influx of people.
Yes.
Hopefully they can profit off of this. We hope this is a good.
Oh, they will.
A good economic impact on our community.
Right. Right. What an exciting time to be alive and be a part of this extraordinary event. Any last comments, Jenny?
I'm just hopeful that that everyone would get out and do just a little bit of research before you say this isn't a big deal. I would hate it if some people didn't realize how significant it is and missed it when it was right at their doorstep. I think they'll regret it, and I don't want that for any of my neighbors.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm really appreciative of the job Jenny and all the folks our department heads have done preparing for this. I think it's going to be a great weekend. I think we're really going to put our best foot forward as a community and really showcase Madisonville. Also, I'd like to thank the City Council for their willingness to support this with some funds and to allow us to have these types of events. It's only through they control the purse strings of the city government, and so they were certainly, I think, quite willing to come together and make this all possible. And so it's really been a kind of a unified effort across a lot of different levels to try to make this a great event for the city.
And if one wants to find Mar Park itself, how do they find Mar Park?
Someone that wants to drive in?
Drive in, yes.
Well, we're going to have temporary directional signage all over the place, starting at the main interchanges, and then we'll have some internally for City Park and Mar Park. That's going to be the main venues. And we definitely, on our website, we encourage everyone to download. If you're not familiar with our community, go ahead and download or have a physical map of our community. Have your points marked as to where you want to go. Don't rely on navigation on your phone, because you probably won't have it. Just assume you won't and take appropriate precautions. But we will have lots of signage throughout the weekend directing our residents to the various events.
Great. And before we close, Mayor, since we're in this venue, and I know we're going to do another program to talk about Mar Park itself, just a beautiful area, as you get people that can overlook over our shoulder and see. New plans are being in place for Mar Park. Can you, in a nutshell, kind of give us some?
Sure. Well,
updates?
Right now at Mar Park, we have the disc golf that's available. We have about 1.5 miles of paved walking trails. We'll soon be closing that loop, and it'll be 3 miles of paved walking trails, which will allow us to have a lot of our 5K events out here and really showcase Mar Park with that. We also just went out for bids after this very last council meeting that we had for a new playground and pavilion and parking area, and also 2 dog parks that'll be out here, all in the same area as you first come in the park. And so we're really trying to open this park up. The kayak launch is phenomenal. It's completely ADA compliant. so that if someone with disabilities wanted to come and take advantage of that, and they have a kayak, you know, they can come and enjoy the lake just as much as everybody else. And so we're really excited about that, and everything that we're doing with the improvements at City Park and Mar Park, we're trying to make sure that it's open to all of our community. And so, but we're really excited about what we have going on out here at Mar Park. You know, and that's just the beginning. We've planned and planned and planned, and I think we have plans that will take us several years into the future for us to begin to make those a reality. But it's quickly becoming a great place to visit on a weekly basis.
Yes, yes. We're actually on the patio of the former residence of Dr. Merle and Glema Marr, who left this beautiful facility for the city.
You know, the house itself is available for rental, you know, for receptions and things like that. And so it's again another aspect of it. We've also purchased a home that sits adjacent. Actually, it was kind of carved out of Mar Park, and so we brought it back into Mar Park, bought it, and we're going to turn that into also a rental facility. It's going to be right there by the pavilion and the playground and the dog parks, and so it'll be very close proximity. You could use the parking for that to have a reunion or a wedding, you know, reception or something like that out here. So.
That'll be great. That'll be great. And Mayor, hopefully when all this is done, you'll take us on a tour of the park, and we'll be able to show the residents and the people of the tri-state what's taking place here.
Well, I tell you, it's really neat to see how well the walking trails are being used already. And when we close that loop, I think they'll even be, you know, more utilized. But also, you know, just to come out here on an evening and see now how many kayakers that we have in Madisonville. You know, we're really growing as a kayaking community now that we have that wonderful kayak and canoe launch that makes it so much easier and safer to get in and out of the water. So.
Great. Exciting, exciting. And we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to everything that's taking place in the upcoming future and beyond.
That's right.
Here in the city of Madisonville. We've been joined by Jenny Thomas Gibson, who is the coordinator and CEO of the Solar Madness 2017. And she and her committee has worked hard to make that weekend, Friday through that Monday, a huge success. So you plan to be a part of that, go out and take advantage of all the events that's going to be taking place. I think you will enjoy yourself, most certainly. And of course, we're glad to have the Honorable Mayor with us back on our focus, Mayor David Jackson, who's here to encounter orchestrating the whole thing this whole weekend. So we appreciate you, Mayor, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Glad to do that. And we want to thank our sponsors, the City of Madisonville and First United Bank, who makes this program possible. If it wasn't for them, and Mayor, especially for you, and I have to say that publicly, we would not be on the air. So we owe a lot of gratitude to you and the city of Madisonville.
We appreciate you being willing to showcase all the things that's going on in the community and just, you know, give a voice to Madisonville.
Thank you so much. We were glad to do it. And in January, we'll be celebrating 20 years
That's awesome.
of public service programming. That's catching up with Jerry-O. Yeah, but that's a blessing to be able to do that 20 years. So we hope you will join us for another edition of our program. I'm your host, Tim Thomas, and by all means, keep sharing the dream.